So I have the old IC-22A working. I basically ripped out the crystal board. The crystals are all worn out, and that was part of the reason why the transmit was all distorted, because it was slightly off band. So I'm generating both the receive and transmit crystal values here. I wrote up a software-defined radio using GNU Radio. So here's the receiver, which is actually a hacker F down here, picking up the radio signal. Local oscillator, multiplier, an FFT output, which is the top band pan adapted display. Resampler to bring the samples down from the 5 million per second down to 48 kilohertz, which is the audio output. Low pass filter, a simple squelch, the actual narrowband FM receiver, and then the actual audio filter histogram, and then the audio output through a volume control. So I'll start that up. You can see there's the controls at the top, volume, squelch, tuning. I'm listening on 146175. That's the band it can hear currently, and that's just the histogram holding the center frequency. So if I pick up my transmitter here and I go testing 1 2 3, you can also hear the audio coming out of the IC-22A, and you can probably hear it coming out of my headphones here on the table from this thing up here. It looks nicely aligned, and yeah, that's the middle value. So now I'll do the transmitter from the this thing, and I'll flip it around. I've only got one load, so currently this is in receive mode with the banana plug in the antenna jack. So I'll swap it around and then I'll show you the transmitting. Okay, now I have the load plugged into the IC-22A. My radio up here is now just in listing mode, and this is still running in listing mode. So I'll do it in low power mode for the moment. The oscillators are all running. Pick up the handset, and it's testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Now I just realised that I am in repeater mode, so I need to increase this up to 46775. So I'll just change that. So now this is listening to testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and it sounds pretty nice now, apart from obviously the feedback. But this little transmitter is now running. So if I put it in high power mode, let's try that. Now I'm transmitting at the full 10 watts, and the cockies are going nuts, and you can hear me through the receiver up here just nicely. And so yeah, once I got rid of the crystals, it works nicely. So I'm pretty pleased with that. So now I'm going to build up a board to go and place the crystal board under the bottom, and just run an Arduino and a SI5351, and I'm going to put a bunch of resistors on each position of this switch, so I can actually just program channels into the Arduino for particular positions. So repeater 1, repeater 2, repeater 3, etc. And then I'll put a serial port on the back so that I can plug it into a computer and program those channels. I'm just going to use the CAT interface that most Yaesu and Kenwood and that radios use. So these will just be emmed up memories in the CAT interface. So I can just set the VFOs and the CTCSS, and then just tell it to save it into a memory position, which will then put it for recall on the dial here. Then I can control the radio remotely if I wanted to, but ultimately it means I can just put some known good channels in the 24 positions of this, and Bob's your auntie. So anyway, so the old 22A lives on. I thought I had a problem with the transmit doublers because it was distorting the microphone, the audio coming from the microphone at some point in here, and my RF probe wasn't working properly, and the voltages coming out of these BJTs looked weird. Once I switched over to use my scope probe, all the voltages looked fine. So then I was like, okay, there's something else going on. And then little did I realise that the VFO's crystals are all kind of sad. They're really old, so they didn't work real well. The only one I'm worried about now is the 11 megahertz IF for the receiver. I'm not sure if that crystal's bad or not, but it's not had a hard life, so it's probably been okay. It's just basically an oscillator, whereas the other crystals have several volts going through them, so I dare say they've gotten a bit tired. But anyway, I should be able to get this up to full working spec, and it won't look any different from the front. It'll just mean that it'll be a little bit more modern in terms of memory and other uses. So yeah, hope you like that. Anyway, I'll catch you later.